I am actually really excited for today's video. It's something I've never done before. It is not a project video. I know that's gonna come as a disappointment to some of you. But it's actually a Q&A where I answer your questions that you have posted on YouTube, Instagram, just all over the place, and I will try to answer as many of you as possible. I can't possibly answer every single one, so I'm sorry if your question is left out, but I will go, quite rapidly because that's how I like to watch Q&As. So here we go. Question number 1. Who are you? What do you do for a living? I am Simon, I'm 21 years old, I live in Sweden, and I do YouTube. Do you prefer one kind of 3D printer over another, normal or Delta? So I really like the Deltas because they tend to be so much faster than the Cartesian models, and the Tivo Delta also has really good quality, so I would say Delta. Do you know PewDiePie? Of course I know him. What is the best and least expensive filament to print with? You should check out hobbyking.com. They have a pretty nice selection. Which part of Sweden do you live in? I live fairly close to Gothenburg in a town called Trollhättan. Do you vape? No, I only smoke the good stuff. That was a joke, don't do drugs. When did you start with RC and what was your first RC car, plane or boat? Now RC stands for radio control, and I started back in 2009 when I was 11 or 12 years old, and my very first project was actually a radio controlled airboat. I have such a vivid memory of that specific build. I mean, that was like the first real project I made, and I mean that's close to my heart. Anything coming concerning FPV racing quads? I actually do have 2 right here. This one I crashed, but this one works very nicely. I don't fly with them very often, but when I do, I fly them hard. I haven't flown them in a year, so if this is something you want to see, I could definitely do it. Can you collaborate with David Windestål? Yeah, sure. I mean, if he contacts me, I'm down. What is your favorite printer and why? So my favorite 3D printer would be the Tivo Delta because it's huge and very, very fast. Though the printer I would recommend to most of you is the Creality CR10. Why don't you always use ABS when printing a solid part? ABS stinks. It stinks. I mean, it literally smells. It requires a heated bed, which is basically just a waste, and it's so much harder to print than PLA. Let the feud in the comments section begin. When are you going to do a fan meetup? Honestly, I'm just afraid to be the only one there. How much money have you spent on all your projects? 3D printers, drone, RC cars, everything. Oh man, I don't want to know. Is YouTube your only job, main income? Yes, it is. Did you go to college? If so, what did you major in? Yes, I did go to college for 2.5 years. Then the YouTube channel started to go very well, and I wanted to do something that I love to work with, YouTube, and I just couldn't say the same of being an engineer and working for a company. So I decided to go full-time on YouTube, and I have no regrets. Do you have a girlfriend? No, I don't. How did you get into 3D printing, and what is your favorite filament to print with? I needed a 3D printer to make like spare parts or repair things around the house, and I think a misconception that a lot of you might have is that I got my first 3D printer, and that was the Anite 8 last year. I've been doing 3D printers for 1 year, and that's it. I've never done anything before. And my favorite filament would be the flexible filament. I feel like you can be very creative and it opens a lot of doors. How old are you? Are you still into race drones, and are you planning videos about it? So here we have another one on racing drones, and I am 21 years old. Do you like turtles? Well, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or TMNT as we called it back in the days, was actually my favorite TV show when I was a child, so yes, I do like turtles. Can you make projects that are bigger, like a fully 3D printed RC car or a 3D printed quadcopter? Well, I actually did a 3D printed airplane recently, and I have the version 2 of a radio controlled airplane right there, so that's coming pretty soon. Where do you get your filaments? Hashtag fellow Swede. If you live in Europe, I would probably check out 3D Prima. They have some nice quality filaments. globally, I've had a lot of success with just the cheap Chinese filaments from GearBest. Not really a question, but it could be nice if you show us around in your workshop. Yeah, I can do that. Let's go. Alright, so this part of the house is where I spend probably 90% of my time awake. And here's my computer where I edit. I do all my stuff in Fusion in here. There's some experimentation. And if we take a right to the stairs of heaven, we come to the garage where I record most of my videos. And I guess we could just start down here. That's a few packages where I have stuff I might review in the future. I have the CR10 down here, so I can use the printer while I am recording over there. And over here I storage my batteries. Obviously the batteries should be inside the box, but that's where I keep all my lithium polymer batteries, because when you have this many, it becomes basically a fire hazard. So yeah, that's why. And in here I have all my filaments and a few 3D printers. Up there I have the Terminator head and a RC car, my Tivo Delta. And over here I have my organization boxes where I keep stuff like 3D printing stuff and motors, servos. Yeah, just everything I need for my videos. And usually I clean up the place before I record, but this is how it usually looks like. Alright, that ends the workshop tour. Back to the Q&A. How do you find new ideas for videos that haven't been done yet? Sometimes it just pops in my head, and sometimes I see a Facebook post. Like, I saw someone on Facebook do this and I got really interested in the subject, and now I'm making a video about it. Favorite project so far? That's a good question, because my favorite project is the video with the most amount of views. I just learned so much from making that Wolverine claw hand thing. I learned how to mold my hand, which is something I had never done before, so now I can use it in future videos. I learned Autodesk Remake. I learned, well, I got better at Fusion 360. I learned a lot about flexible filaments. I mean, it was a great project. What is the best dependable 3D printer for $300, $400, and $500? For $300, I would go with something like the Anycubic i3 Mega. That's a printer I've been using a lot more lately. For $400, I would go with the CR10. For $500, I would go with the CR10. My Print-Sonic Creality CR10 has problems with bed adhesion. What should I do to fix it? You can't really mess it up. It's cheap, it's simple to use, it doesn't smell, it doesn't make everything else around it sticky. It's just plain old tape. It works. That's what I use. Do you get your 3D printers from companies that sponsor you, or do you buy them yourself? Most of the printers you can see here have been sent to me for free in exchange for a review, which I think is great, because that gives me the ability to test all these printers in order to find the best affordable one for you guys. I also want to say that I've never accepted a payment, and I will always keep my reviews unbiased. Best CAD software, Fusion 360. How to paint your 3Ds? Well, you tell me. I suck at painting, I suck at drawing. I can't do it. What is your real job? How do you afford your hobbies? Well, YouTube is my real job, and it is my hobby, so I guess it pays for itself. Do you have any other hobbies besides RC and 3D printing? I really don't. That's my life. When you were younger, did you take apart things that had broke, like a TV or something? Ask my parents. They know. What is your dream work? Do you like Italy? I'm actually 1/4 Italian, so love pizza. Who was your inspiration? Roman Atwood, hands down. What camera do you use to film your video with? I use a Sony Alpha A55. It's 6 years old, and I am going to replace it pretty soon. How did you get into making YouTube videos? I basically started to upload just random videos on YouTube, and they are not on my channel anymore, thankfully. But I really enjoyed having the camera and edit and all that, so I started to make a little bit more complex videos about RC airplanes. And I probably uploaded, I don't know, 50 videos, and I reached like 300 followers. And then I started the DIY and 3D print channel, as I am right now, and well, it escalated from there basically. I do have some really exciting projects that I can't wait to show you. nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed watching this Q&A. Maybe you learned a little bit more about me, and hopefully I was able to answer some of your questions at least, and let me know if you enjoyed this, so I might make more. Alright, have a nice day, bye.